thank goodness. Oh my gosh, third time's a charm. I tried to start the live stream and then I was met with a black screen twice. Hurried up, exited out. I saved it. Oh my gosh. Ugh, I hate that. And it's like, why is this happening? Why? It didn't used to happen except maybe sporadically, and it's been happening most live streams lately, but only once usually, not twice or three times. So we're here. We're ready to hang out. So without further ado, hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. If you missed the memo and did not see the description of this video, this live stream, we are going to be doing a free reading giveaway and our drawing, which if you were here way back in the day, this pouch was so stuffed full I could still zip it and stuff, but like there wasn't much wiggle room to like draw a name without knocking other names out. So I had to, of course, honor the ones I knocked out as well. So you guys voted, I want to say around April or May this year. Maybe it was June, maybe it was July. I don't know. Time is a weird thing. I don't even know. You guys voted to dump everything out and start fresh. And so here we are. Look at that. We have less than 20 names for sure. Let's see, we got a nice little scattering in the bottom here. But yeah, we're gonna be hanging out, doing some readings. We already have one donation, so that's awesome. I do have a donation list that I need to set up here. And I will double check that we don't have more than the one that I'm aware of. Make sure. I gotta delete all my spam junk mails. That's something I need to put on my like short to-do list, is just go in and unsubscribe, 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 unsubscribe. Yes, some of these things I do want to stay subscribed to, but others I'm like, why? I literally just have to delete this email every 2 to 3 days, sometimes daily. I mean, Michael's, the craft store, I think I get one or maybe even 2 emails from them a day. And I'm like, do I really need that many? I don't think so. Board of trustees, let me delete that. Sorry, I'm just here doing a little bit of housekeeping. It's like, no, I don't need to be doing this right now. So yes, okay. There was something that it occurred to me that I didn't update you guys on. And now, I think it's in my photos. I don't remember what it was. For the life of me, I have no idea. Oh, that's what it was. We were talking about the homecoming parade, especially for like the university, and how Wrigley's agenda every single time is to meet the mascot and get a high five or a hug or a special interaction with the mascot. And we always like fingers crossed that we get to be able to do that. So, here's him. This is before the parade started. And this was back October 11th. So it's been a minute. Update finally incoming. Just little phone pictures here that I took, but let me get to the point. If I can find the correct thing here. All right. As you can see, we've spotted Monty. Oh, incoming. This is he had to hurry. He was like 25 spots behind where he was supposed to be number 4 in the lineup of 141, I think. He was like 20 some spots back from where we were expecting him. So everything that went by, I'm like, is Monty coming? Is Monty coming? Monty did come. Let's see. We even have a video. My husband took the video. I took the photos. He's like, yeah. Which, I mean, we'll take it. That's better than nothing for sure. I think, was it last year? I think it was last year. It was probably the highlight, the very best one of all. And I think I still have that video on here. Don't quote me on that, but I think I do. I do. I think I do. This was last year. Okay, it's playing already. Let me rewind it. And then we're gonna get into it soon. Don't worry. All right, this was last year. I mean, it looks exactly like this year, right? But Monty's wearing a different outfit. See, he picked him up, took him around. It was a whole thing. That's probably our highlight of the best interaction. Except at the basketball games, he can get a lot of fun interaction at the basketball games because he'll wear his Monty suit and then just be dripping sweat because it's so hot in the gym. But he loves it, and I love seeing him happy, and it's just like highlights for moms, you know. All right, so we have our donation list. We have 4 people here. We're past the 5-minute mark. You snooze, you lose, right? So let's just get right into this. I would say just for a little bit of energy exchange, if you could just pop a little like on this video, that would be awesome. I don't even know if it really actually does anything, but just you setting that intention that it'll help. That'll help me, you know? So I thank you all that have already done that and that will do that. Thank you so much. Again, who knows if it really even does anything. But oh, you got an ad. Oh no. I hope no one's missing the fun because of an ad. As you guys know, I always turn them off, but they always turn them right back on every time we have a live stream. So I do apologize for that. Piece of garbage. I don't know what I can do to try to reach out and have any kind of communication with YouTube themselves just will not happen. Even if you're like a super successful creator, to try to get in touch with them, it's just crickets, crickets, crickets. There's just no real customer service for the people that make them the money, or at least, you know, are kind of the middleman between the ad revenue that's generated because of our videos, our live streams. But yet we can't even have the common decency of a conversation if we're having an issue or have a question, or oh my gosh, my hat is always crooked. You know, it's if it were any other employer, people would be like, screw this place, I'm out of here. But you know, fun times. So I guess I mean, I guess at least we can go live. So I'll take it as a win that we can at least still go live because they've done so much other stuff to specifically the Done Creative is totally checked out as far as the whole shadow banning thing goes. Yeah, vibe it up with a like. I love it. I always get an ad in the middle of my reading. YouTube is so thoughtful. It's almost like they know. Like, what the hell? I don't know. I don't get it. And yes, I was fasting this morning, so I'm late in the game getting my mushroom coffee down. So bear with me. How are we going to do this? Okay. I think we're going to do something slightly different than what tarot card did I just pull? It's not that much different, really. We're going to be using this, just occurred to me. So, you know, this just occurred to me. What we're going to do is with the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms Oracle, I'll show you guys a few of the cards just so you can kind of get a feel for what's going on. So some of the cards I did shuffle in reverse kind of the last few times that we've used this deck semi-recently. I'll just read a few of the cards. And so what the agenda here is you don't have to have the name of the card because who knows, the Phoenix, the Camel Boy, the Keeper of the Scales. Like, I'm not asking you to do any of that specifically unless you get a download of, ooh, I think it's the Camel Boy card or, you know, whatever. But I want you to tune into, you know, maybe what the card looks like, the symbolism, any keywords, self-sabotage, poverty consciousness, a title, and whoever comes closest, and you guys will have, it'll be just free for all, just, you know, machine gun Kelly, all the words out, you know, just spitfire, all the thoughts, all the downloads that you get, and I'll pick the person who's closest. And you can even tune in, you know, is it upright? Is it reverse? All of that. Because say, okay, let's just pretend as an example, we drew the Eyes of Beauty card, but it was in reverse. Well, when it's upright, it's positive expectations and clarity. But if you were to say confusion, feeling dejected, I would take that as a win because this card is in reverse. So I would take that as what's going on here. So thank you so much, you guys, for bearing with me as we This is maybe a little more difficult than just, all right, use your intuition to suss out, is it the 10 of wands or the king of swords, or what are we pulling here? This may be a little more fun, a little more loose with the rules, but also maybe more interpretive for you guys to just, ooh, I think we already have our card. Look at this. Okay. And even colors, like you can see some colors. So go ahead and start. If you're listening to my words right now, what card am I holding? Is it upright? Is it reverse? Is there a number on it? What are the colors? Maybe some keywords or the title, just anything that is coming to you, as a download. And I'll be kind of meditating on the card as I look at your questions, your observations of what your intuition is showing. Interesting. You're all really tuning into some red, and there is a bit of red on the card. I wouldn't say it's the predominant color, but it definitely stands out. So hopefully I'm projecting what's going on to you guys. Oh my gosh, Versha, this is beautiful. You got it. You got it, girl. You did it. All right, Versha. So, transformation is sort of, I would give you that, but it came out in reverse. It's the Hungry Ghosts card. This is red, but then we have some orange with this mushroom here. I'll just show it to you guys upright. And again, excuse the pixelation. The lighting in here is absolutely horrendous right now. There's two fairies sitting on these little mushrooms, toadstools, what have you. This fairy particularly has these kind of fiery red with some orange on the tips. We've got some bright yellow, lots of greens in the background, an orange toadstool here, the number 14. So letting go of fear, scarcity consciousness, its root is in fear. So you really tuned into that. I love that. We have the attachments, obsessions, the hungry ghosts. Very cool. Transformation, hungry ghosts. So I'm going to give it to you as a win. You very astute observations there. I love that. So Versha, you win today's reading, and then everybody else and Versha as well that's here that would like to be entered into the drawing. We have our little strips of paper here. Finally, I found them. They were in a very easy to spot place, and I just keep forgetting where they're at when the time comes to actually need them. Oh, maybe I don't. There's a few that are already cut up. Well, I might still have to. These are like the little, so I buy those tiny sticky pads that are about yay big, the sticky notes, for my Kanban board that I have fallen out of practice with probably for a whole year now, which, oh my gosh, that's crazy. It's been that long. What is going on? And speaking of what is going on, why is there, this is Wrigley, well, it's Ryan's iPad, but Wrigley uses it. There's a timer set at 21:28 for God knows what reason. I don't know what reason Wrigley would need to set a timer. That might be relevant information. It just lit up in the corner of my eye, so I saw that. But anywho, yeah, these are just the scraps of, I like to get the sticky part and just, it's like this wide, and write my whatever little specific goal or task on there. But let's get a couple of these made up. And then let's see. So everybody looking to enter the the drawing, put an 888 in the chat. Looks like we have 8 people here right now. So 888 in the chat. That means you would like to be entered into today's drawing, and maybe perpetually into the near future. Your name may be drawn at a future date. And if your name is drawn and you are not here, I will do a general read and just put your name with the timestamp in the description box. So if you have to miss a live stream specifically, it's only going to be on the free reading giveaway and drawing live streams that we have maybe once every 3 weeks or so, maybe 3 weeks to a month. We do about 3 weeks to a month, lately anyway. We used to do this every live stream or every other live stream. I can't remember, but it was getting so much that it was a lot. And interestingly enough, with one of the placements that I have in my birth chart, um, if you have K2 fourth from Saturn, specifically, especially in your original birth chart, but if it's in your D10, your D9, these are also pretty prevalent charts. If you have your K2 fourth from Saturn, it actually acts as a detriment for you to give things away for free, unless it has to do with the dead. Literally, like being a mortician. You could give your mortician services away for free, or like a funeral director, or if you're a medium, I guess you could work in those realms, giving readings, free mediumship readings, not psychic readings, but mediumship readings specifically, and not have it be a detriment to you. Because most people, not all, you'd have to check your astrology, but if you give something away for free, it usually you will get that good karma back like threefold, tenfold. But interestingly enough, if you have your K2 fourth from Saturn, and you're giving things away for free left, right, and center, you're going to be depleted in lots of ways, financially, emotionally, physically, all sorts of things. And I learned this the hard way, guys. I used to give away so much free stuff in my photography business, or just doing free sessions for people all the time. And I burned out so hard that I don't even ever want to pick up my camera again. I didn't know then what I know now as far as energy exchange and all that, but yeah. Now, the more you know. Okay. Got hair all over me. It's shedding season, y'all. Not just for my dogs, but for me too, for some weird reason. Okay. Put an 888 in the chat. I will write your name down, and then we will draw today's winner, do Versha's full read, and then do a quick general for the one who wins the drawing today after we do the drawing. Okay. So Linda's the first 88 I see. 888. And I'm going to show you guys your name as I put it in the pouch, so you're verifying that you were entered. We have Hey. We have someone else. Solar Siren 209. Hello, my dear. Good thing I'm using pencil. I need an R after that A. Then we have Mardell. My mom is here. I love you, Mom. All right. We have Brianna. Hello, my dear. And I'm dropping in to give a like. Oh, you're always so cool, Mom. Okay, last chance if you're just joining us. Oh, I skipped a whole bunch in the middle here. What am I doing? Let's get Versha. If you're just joining us, put 888 in the chat. That lets me know that you would like to be entered into today's drawing. Brandy Lynn. And I see another one for S. Okay. And Kashfi. How did I miss all of these? Oh my gosh, I swear to goodness. All right. I'll just put S. Just like that. And then Kashfi. Okay. So we have our names. So you have until, even if we're done and said and done with this and we've drawn the winner and we're like into the donations, if you still put an 888, I still will put your name in here. But if we've already drawn for the day, which we're about to do, you won't be today's winner, but you might be a future winner. So you can still get in on this. Action. Okay, we have S. We have, oh, itchy nose. Okay, we have Versha. We have Brianna. We have Mardell Kiefer. We have Solar Siren 209. We have Hey Hey. We have Linda. We have Brandy Lynn. And last but not least, we have Kashvi. Here we go. Drum roll. Yes, I love it, Brianna. Drum roll, please. Here we go. Who's going to win today? Who's going to be it? Who's going to be the winner? It's a blue piece of paper. So we know my mom didn't win today. Oh, she had a white piece of paper. Hey! And it's the one I just entered. So Marlene, you have won today, my dear. Our drawing. So there's no need to put a question. The drawing prize, I guess you could call it, is just a general reading. That way that if someone is not here, they can still get their prize. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how we've done it all along. So Versha, go ahead and post your question. We'll get right into that for you. Then on deck, we have Hey Hey's general. And then we have Katie. Katie has donated, and I will just double check that we are up to date on our donation list. So far, so good. We have one donation, so we can get right into that after our giveaway portion and drawing portion. Okay. While we wait for Versha's question, we have a few messages here that popped up. Oh, my mom and I swap in ideas. We're both in our let's get some steps and workout era. Yes. All right. Delete a few emails while I wait. Get it going. All right. So, oh, you did win last time. That's right. It seemed very familiar. You're very lucky these days. That's so exciting. Yay. Okay, so whatever the true pure source creation energy would like me to know, thank you. Everyone, please click on the like button to show love on Amanda. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. All right, so let's get into Versha's question. And I'll set my timer just so I'm trying to stay on point, on time, on task. You guys know me. All right, here we go. Whatever the true pure source creation energy would like Versha to know, tuning into Versha's true spirit. What is it she needs to know right now? All right. Ooh, we have the Three of Swords. And see, I am shuffling upright. This is, when it's upright, it is the heartbreak. It is the grief. It is the sense of loss. But when it comes in reverse, it's almost like an acceptance of said grief, said heartbreak, said loss. At least that's how I've always interpreted it. And it can be something that's more of an internal grief or shift of past, just very heart-wrenching feelings, conversations, situations that you've been through that have just been not ideal, to where you've kind of made up your mind in a lot of ways that you're moving beyond that type of energy, which is very relevant to what we were talking about. So privately anyway. Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh. What were we talking about? Healing and peeling. Happy family, emotional contentment, and fulfillment. So you kind of coming to like a breaking point in certain situations, specifically with the masculine energy in your life. This will eventually lead to you moving away. Distance-wise, interestingly enough, this is more of a short distance card, but it's also internet card. So as far as you being able to communicate internationally or through the internet, any neck of the woods in the world, there's some open communication coming in or going out from you to people who can assist you or help you with healing. I just heard safe harbor as well. Let me just Google that. I think that just means like, I don't know if there's a safe harbor law. Let's look. Let's just see. Safe harbor law. Well, oh, funny enough, there's a safe harbor up in Polson, Ronan area, which is just north of me here. Safe harbor law. I don't know if I don't think I've ever heard that, but Okay. So a safe harbor law is a legal provision that provides protection from liability or penalties under certain conditions. These provisions are found in various areas of law, such as tax, corporate, internet law. Um, let's see. Um, safe harbor. Um, oh, weirdly enough, there's something about immigration law here. Safe third country agreements. I don't know what third country specifically means. Country can reject a person's asylum application if they have already been granted protection by another country. I don't know that that's your specific deal, though. But there may be. Oh, you're an expert. Say safe harbor laws. Okay, Solar Siren is your girl to know what that's all about. Because I don't even think I've heard safe harbor or someone being a safe harbor to you, but I don't know that that was a law. So, or if I heard it, it may have been years ago and just was junked up in my subconscious. I don't know. But my girl Jessa, she's got you covered. So let's just see what's going on. Something about safe harbor laws or being able to heal or move away from a toxic situation. Yeah, I can send you her email. I can do that. All right. Anything else? Ooh, so there's husband energy, father energy, masculine energy that we've been talking about this whole time. But this is also a card about being your own leader, your own authority, allowing your own masculine to rise, and not the toxic masculine that's, in competition or in kind of that friction and conflict with the toxic masculine in your life. This is your own divine masculine rising to the occasion to act as this container for you, and particularly also your child in these times of maybe making some decisions, or at least thinking about making some decision. Anything else Versha needs to know about this or anything else? Ooh. So there's definitely a karmic shift, especially as a result of you deciding to let something go or someone go potentially. Look at that. So there's definitely, and let's just make sure this is in your favor. I am feeling this is in your favor as far as karmic retribution or whatever. Good karma coming back rather than bad karma coming to bite you in the butt, so to speak. Yes. This is going to allow your feminine, and this is probably, if you ask me, probably the most divine masculine, divine feminine in the deck. If you ask me, maybe others have other ideas about it, but to me, this is very masculine form of the divine feminine. And this is mama bear energy right here. Nothing's gonna tear her down. And she can be very cutting with her words or communication or proof in some sort of situation. If this is like breaking of a contract, you know what you're doing and you mean business. Especially this combination right here. Get out of Versha's way. Get out of Versha's way. So just knowing that you have a lot of spiritual support, love, guidance, as you, even if you're not ready, and won't be ready for a while to make certain decisions to drop the heavy load so that you can rise vibrationally to something that's more energetically sustainable. Because what you have now is you can start vibing high, and then when your husband's home, it's like you're pulled back down to his vibration rather than him being pulled up to your high vibration. And one of the hardest things to do, especially when you're dealing with someone with a lot of anger, which I know that you are, is for you to maintain that high vibration while in their presence, because it's almost like having this pure untainted stream of water and then someone coming along and whizzing in it. It really muddies the waters, so to speak, that it's really difficult. And it takes a really strong person to hold their high vibe, even if someone around them is trying to poo-poo on everything that they want or are trying to do. And on the back of the deck, we have the star card. So things will work out in your favor. And I just heard prolonging the inevitable. Prolonging the inevitable. So that could be that you know what you need to do, but maybe the timing isn't right. But eventually there will be a decision made where you can drop the heavy load, the heavy burden that will lead you back to your emotional fulfillment. And then on the back of the deck, as I'm kind of stuffing things in here and there to put things away, we have the victory card, especially after a very long, hard battle. So you will be able to get out of this situation and find something much more fulfilling with a community of people who are like-minded that will lift you up. This is like soul sister, soul brother type energy, soul family energy, people who are more on your vibrational level. All right. That's why I have to face my fear of him abandoning me, leaving me high and dry, and me going back to Indy. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I burned our contract again with him last night and got the Queen of Swords. There you go. That's literally like any contract that she steps in or out of, that ish is permanent. Yeah. So if you rip that up, burn that up, and you get the Queen of Swords, it feels like you got to a root of something. It was more energetic than doing in her personal way. I have become like this, no BS with me. Yeah, I feel I do have to call it out and tell him we need to separate. We started sleeping on ground floor while he sleeps on the first floor. I also felt like bringing my clothes down too. Yeah, and just you separating when you're still considered in this legally binding contract of marriage is sending a pretty clear message that you're done. You're done being treated the way that you're treated. You're done with the anger. You're done with the outbursts and the usury, using you for domestic and emotional and intimate labor that you're not getting much in reverse or in exchange, I should say. Yeah. So I hope that helped. I really do hope that helped. All right, for Hey, for some reason, we're going to start with the Magical Spirit Oracle. For Hey, anything Hey needs to know right now. Oh, and I'll set my timer just so we make sure we stay on track because I can talk. You guys know this. Oh, you're so welcome. Anytime. Congrats on winning. That's so exciting. All right, Hey, here we go. Ooh, we have the Eternal Center, Guru, Protection, and Peace. There's a place within me. There is a place within me. Still calm, steady, eternal. It just kind of repeats. It's hard to see, but you can kind of see the repeating. There we go. So there's a place within me, still calm, steady, eternal. So especially if things have been stressful or chaotic, or even just kind of blah, nothing real exciting, nothing real fanciful going on, this is you being able to tune into this place of peace within you, Marlene, that is going to help you just feel really connected to your spirit coming up. And this is going to have an external kind of catalyst that puts you in this energy of, I want to make a shift. I want to make a change for myself, not because of these outside circumstances, but this maybe potential outside trigger, conversation, situation that's potentially going on either now. So you guys know me. I've said this a million times here. The recent past, the current present, and the very near future almost read as the exact same energy to me. So sometimes it's hard for me to determine if that's already happened, is happening now, or will very soon happen, if it's especially within like a week's worth of time. So only you know, Marlene, if you've already been going through some of this. Whew, we got a lot going on, but this is slippery energy here. But I'm going to read all of them because they all feel relevant for some reason. Yes, I've just been struggling with my emotions, just about life. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this really is showing just needing to get back connected to you and who you are without all these other labels of mom, daughter, sister, wife, not sister wife, but sister and wife, entrepreneur, whatever other label, creative person, whatever label you want to slap on it. But this is about this, celebrating you, who you are, what you want to show the world or not, because it's all about what you're here to do. Which part of that is spreading the light, saying yes, not to the things that, you feel burdened by, but saying yes to the things that absolutely light you up. And that being said, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. So if there's someone, saying, "Hey, can you do me this favor?" If you're not like over the moon excited to go do this thing for them, you can say no. And it's actually going to work in your favor and in their favor because they're going to learn something by doing it themselves and not just putting that burden on your plate. And this is specifically having to do with the people who live under your roof with you. Letting them kind of falter or fail with something very small, not something major, especially with the kids. Sometimes the natural consequences of, not doing this homework assignment or, not following through with this thing, the natural consequence is you didn't RSVP to that party in time. Now you can't go to that party, just as an example. Love your body. So, and accept love, not only from others, but from yourself. So this may even be just you re-examining, getting to this place within you to remember you're not the body, but knowing that you can love the body, even if it's not the ideal body, weight or shape or size or texture, whatever about your body kind of stresses you out or makes you wish it was different in some way. We all have those things, big or small, or a lot of things, or a few things that we would love to change about ourselves if we could. But just loving your body as is, accepting yourself as is. And a lot of times that is almost the key that goes into the lock to be able to unlock who you actually want to be, because your spirit, the reason you're feeling out of alignment a lot of times in your body, this is not just for Marlene, but everybody, is because your spirit knows you can be a better version of yourself. And by better, it doesn't mean that it's technically better than the body shape, size, whatever that you're currently in. It's just maybe specifically about health and the way that your body can vibrate to communicate with your higher self that can feel off. And a lot of times it's not just extra weight that we put on because we've eaten too much or too many carbs or whatever. A lot of that is storing toxins. The fat cells are a beautifully miraculous, that's the word I'm looking for, divinely orchestrated mechanism to protect us from death. And then we're sitting here, I'm so fat, poking our fat. We've all probably been there. I'm not specifically calling anyone out, but we poke it and like, why, how dare you? Instead, it's like shifting the perspective and thinking the body fat or the this or the that for being the way it is to protect you, because that's the body's prerogative at all times, is to protect and to keep you alive. Clearing the fog, especially like brain fog or just unclear decisions. I know we're running over, but I want to be able to go through all of these. And then reclaiming your art, anything that lights you up. This could be writing, drawing, decorating, clearing, cleansing, music, whatever lights you up. This is about maybe clearing the fog and writing out, what could be hobbies for me that are just for me that I love. And then writing those out and referring back to them and actually doing some of those things from time to time to really fill your cup back up, Marlene. So I hope that resonates for you. And congrats again on winning the drawing. Hi, Rebecca. I do see that you put an 888. You might be just a bit behind or lagging. I know sometimes when we're on a live stream, people kind of just might come in at a random time or they're not at the live point of the live stream. But whenever you do hear this, I'm writing your name down. We already did draw for today, but this is our perpetual drawing. So that means I'll put your name in here. And if we draw it at a future, like I was saying earlier, I do these live streams every 3 weeks to a month where I'm doing the drawing and the giveaway. So your name will be in here and it may come out next month or the next month or the next month. Let me write your name down. We'll enter you in. Okay. So, pen's fallen. Pencil. Rebecca Daniel. Fold it. Put it in the pouch. And we're going to zip it up so Wrigley doesn't spill it because we're in his bedroom right now. Half the time I move my stuff out and the other half I don't. I don't usually after tonight because I go live again in basically a day and a half after right now. Or it's technically 2 days, but you get what I'm saying. Which the next time we're live, you guys, it'll be Halloween or Samhain and all Hallows Eve and all the fun things. So join me. All right. I don't think I'm going to dress up, but here I am. All right. So we did have a donation come in. I think it was from Brianna, but I start reading and I start getting real hot. So let me take off a layer. All right, here we go. Aw, Hermione, how fun! Yeah, Wrigley's going as Clancy from 21 Pilots lore. And if you guys want to see what that looks like, that's Tyler Joseph in the Overcompensate music video dressed up as Clancy. And then another still from that. So Wrigley, I had to, instead of spending $627, yes, you heard me right, $627 for the homemade mask off Etsy. I could have gotten a crocheted version for probably around 100, but A, I wasn't sure it'd be here in time, and B, I wasn't a fan of the over-exaggerated cat ear look on the mask. So I just crocheted it myself, just came up with it, unraveled what didn't look good. I actually made 2 versions of it because the first one was just way too big. That's the final product. And then let's get to Wrigley. I took way too many pictures of him wearing it. Oh, the lighting is horrible. Him doing the 21 Pilots symbols. He's obsessed. He loves it. Yeah, so there we go. That's what we're working with. He's going to be going as Clancy. I might be a Bandito. If you know the 21 Pilots lore, you'll know what that looks like. I definitely can't fit into the shirt that I wore to the 2018 concert because the first place I gain weight is in this region. And it's usually the first place I lose weight as well. But I'm at a point right now where one boob couldn't fit in that shirt. So I need to get it back together. Let's see. I do have pictures of the shirt I'm talking about. I will show you guys a quick. I'll probably just wear the coat, put some yellow tape. That the coat's behind it. The shirt has like a cool hood, and I kind of DIY'd this whole shirt to make my own fancy little outfit. But I could see I could put the tape on the coat just like this and wear some black leggings and black shoes and just I'll be a bandito. And that will be perfect for to go in with Clancy, and I really don't have to dress up that extreme. So that's probably what I'll do. Yes, when you wear different hats, I get such amazing messages. I've been in a supercharged solar plexus energy day, and then I'm wearing mustard yellow. You can't make this stuff up. But that's the thing is, we can become really connected to soul family, even if we don't know them in person. We can find them on the internet, and you can really vibe with people in ways that you could never even describe. It's really cool. I'll see you later, Versha. Have a good one. Okay. So here we go. We're going to go over to, I do believe it's Brianna that donated, but let's double check. Yes, it's Brianna. So free 1 card pull, not free 1 card pull. You paid for it. 1 card pull, but you guys know me. It's never a 1 card. Ooh, she finished her fast. Wants a message that authentic spirit wants me to hear. All right. I love it. So let's go ahead and get into this. I'm going to set my timer just to keep me on track today. Okay. For some reason, I want to start with this deck. So let's do it. She finished her fast. Message from the divine source creator, her own true spirit. What does she need to know? Any messages? Ooh. So this has put you in a higher vibration. There may have even been some massive and deep inner child healing that happened, not even from any conscious awareness or intent for this to happen, but it just was able to clear out old cells. Even some cells that were, it really does feel like, interestingly enough, they're like old cells. So like autophagy, you know what that is? When you are fasting, your body can go in and really start cleaning those up. But another thing is like the stem cells. Like this is childlike, brand new baby cells that can do anything, go in, clean, oh, there's something going on over here. Let's send those stem cells that my body just generated over here to like really start bringing back the hands of time. So it's really reverting you to a younger version of yourself as a result of this fast, which you may even notice your skin's clearer, your hair feels softer, shinier, your eyes are clearer. Like you may just see some very physical symptoms or signs that this fast really did some cool stuff. And I still need to look into the fast email that you sent me. I really need to get on that because this sounds amazing. Just the energy coming in, what your results are, I'm just like blown away. I love it. Yeah, stick with it. So there may be, not to say you have to do this fast all the time, but it may be something, yeah, it's helping you literally step away from this matrix. Look at that. And nothing worth doing is usually easy, right? Nothing truly worth doing. This, and there's a lot of green coming in here. So this is really helping that portal at the heart chakra as well. So all this supercharged energy that you're really feeling in the solar plexus, almost said super plexus, solar plexus, is really going to start leading up into your heart and really bringing this expanded, just unconditional, universal love for humanity, for animals, for yourself, especially for yourself. I'm hearing actually is just this unconditional love in ways that used to be super hard on yourself, or just wishing that you had more motivation or more willpower with things. Like, you're giving yourself grace, but in giving yourself grace, oh, I have chills. Ooh, can you see that? I don't think you can. Maybe. Um, but in the giving yourself grace, it's again kind of almost like that key that magically unlocks everything for you to, again, heal that inner child. Wow. And we have the number 44 here, which is really, you've really created a solid, stable foundation for yourself to where the next time you do it, and then you being on this clean eating path and all of this, you've really set a stable foundation for yourself that it's going to be much more difficult to go off of it than it was in times past, that you're like, okay, I'm doing so well, and then a holiday or life circumstances or travel or something kind of put you off your clean eating path, and then by the time you got back home, you're like, oh, but that looks so good, one should, and then we like talk ourselves out of our own like accomplishments and like self-sabotage. That's one big piece of this puzzle you're overcoming. And others saying, oh no, one bite won't hurt. You're overcoming that peer pressure to self-sabotage in ways that almost are immeasurable right now, but you're going to start seeing, especially if you kind of keep track of things over the next 2 to 3 months, you're going to see ways that, that older version of you would have succumbed to the peer pressure or made an excuse, or failed to prepare and prepared to fail with like meal prep or something, to where you would have just caved and got something that wasn't ideal for you. And instead you are really putting in that effort with it. Weirdly enough, it feels effortless, but it's almost this strength and this stability that you've gained here has helped you close out those old cycles with that 9, to be able to step into this new, fresh version of yourself that is going to support what you're doing here. All right. Ooh, all right. Hello there, Miss Sovereignty herself, stepping up outside this matrix. Nothing. I just heard Never Gonna Give You Up, Never Gonna Let You Down. Is that by Rick Astley? I think it is. I think the song's called Never Give You Up. And why is it, Brianna? Every time I do readings for you, we get songs. And a lot of times they're 80s and 90s songs, weirdly enough. Some weird white guy, but like, Rick Astley song. But this is almost like a love song to yourself. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. Ooh, I have chills. And then you have the Chariot. Green light, go. The choices you're making are leading you to your huge success, just in feeling like this divine being in this human vessel. I'm going to look up those lyrics real quick just to see if there's any key moments that need to stand out here. Never gonna give you up. Okay, here we go. So we're no strangers. And again, this is like from you to you. So picture this almost as a love song to self. And the song released in 1987. I don't know if that's relevant or not. So we're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. A full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. And by that, I'm really tuning into your own inner divine masculine. I love that. I just want to tell you how I'm feeling. Got to make you understand. Never going to give you up. Never going to let you down. Never going to run around and desert you. So this is your own inner divine masculine telling your inner divine feminine, I'm not going to desert you. I'm not going to let you down. Never going to make you cry. Never going to say goodbye. Never going to tell a lie to hurt you. Yeah, known each other for so long. Your heart's been aching, but you're too shy to say it inside. We both know what's going on. We know the game and we're going to play it. And it just goes on and on. I mean, it's a pretty long song, but go ahead. Yes, I love it. Period. Every time. Yes. So I would say that was a very successful, if not the most successful fast of your life. So, if you ever need to do it again, for whatever circumstance or reason, you will have even better results the next time, even better results the next time, the next time. So each time you do this, you're going to see even more results. But I'm seeing you really stepping into this lifestyle where you're just being very intentional. I shuffled and put everything back, and look, we still have the chariot on the back of the deck. So you're moving forward. You're not staying stuck in old patterns or in the past, or you're just so hyper focused, but not in an obsessive or weird kind of way, but just in a very divinely led, divinely inspired kind of way to stay on your path this time. And again, stick with it. There's still room for growth. I mean, we all always have room for growth, but you're doing so well, and pat yourself on the back for that, because not everyone could do what you just did. So that alone, not that it's a competition, but that alone should tell you that, okay, I did something very beneficial for myself and I deserve to be happy. I love it. Yes, look on the back of the deck. Big detoxing effects came from that as well, and will continue to come, because now you're really fueling your body with something. You did a good reset for yourself, and now you're really adding good fuel to that good fire to be able to allow the physical vessel to vibrate at optimum capacity, optimal frequency and vibration, to be able to get the downloads, to be able to be happy, to be able to draw to you the opportunities that you deserve in ways that you couldn't when you were on that old eating path, and just the ways of the world. Standard American diet, SAD. Sad. It is sad what they've got us consuming out here that's not even food anymore. It's crazy. So you have all the accolades from me, dear. That I bow down to you, not in a creepy, like obsessive way, but like in a wow, I'm awed by you. So you inspire me, dear. Thanks again, Brianna, for your donation. All right. Okay, it looks like Boston School had a fire drill today. Just got this email, so fun times. No real fire, just a drill. And then I just heard for you, Brianna, this is not a drill. You're ready. You're ready to move forward. In again, I think I had said something about fire. Didn't I? It's like something about fire for something, fire for weirdly, when I channel like that, sometimes I can remember very vividly, and other times it's comes out and it's gone. Like I don't know how or why that is, but sometimes you can refer back and read it, watch it again, and see if there's any takeaways for yourself. Okay. So we have Katie up next. I'm going to timestamp just because I can. So 52:58. She's going to watch later, I do believe. Katie R. Okay. Let's go over to email and check that PayPal question area. Okay. So hope all is well. It is. Thank you so much, Katie. And back to you as well. Like a message from Stacy, please. I will watch live stream after work. Okay, perfect. She says thank you. So you are so welcome. Let's get into this message from Stacy to Katie. Spirit knows what I actually mean when I do mess that up. Message from Stacy to Katie. We're going to start with the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms deck. This is one that we used for our giveaway earlier today. Oh, interesting. We have something backing up. It's probably the garbage truck. It is. So everything's relevant. It's not the garbage service we get. It's the one, I think I just saw an orb shoot past. Check it out. The garbage service that we get, there are two in town. One, the garbage service that's out in the cold, I swear this is relevant. The garbage service that's out in the cul-de-sac right now actually sends their garbage up the interstate out of town to a town called Butte, which is weirdly enough a very toxic. They have a thing called Berkeley Pit, which is like a Superfund site from all the years and years and years of mining. So it's like stripping away or sending toxicity down the road to allow it to just not be in her energy anymore. So, very clear message. She's sending all the toxicity in her life packing. Ooh, three of them, two of them flipped. Okay. And they both came out in reverse, but this makes a lot of sense when you're clearing or detoxing. Sometimes you got to kind of reverse or flip the script for things to pop off in a new way. So I'll read them in their upright and then we'll kind of interpret at their reverse. So the Swan Queen, ooh, two queens, Swan Queen and Shadow Queen. So the Swan Queen is all about transformation, intuitions, patience. Her patience is gone. She is not settling for the okie doke anymore. She is done with that. We have the number 13, which is that death card, divine feminine right there. And then with the Shadow Queen, acquiring knowledge, insecurity, and manipulation. She's acquired all the knowledge she needs in this regard, in this situation. She's no longer insecure. She's very secure in what she knows she needs to do, and she is not putting up with any more manipulation. And she, in fact, she's calling it out. What I'm getting almost with the combination of these two cards is the Queen of Swords, which she's kind of been a pretty prevalent player here today on the live stream, in someone else's reading as well, as a F around and find out, especially with people she's got either verbal, written, soul, legal contracts with. And specifically, this does feel like her husband's energy. She's maybe let him know that she's not happy. Things are just energetically speaking, weirdly enough, Katie, though, she still feels like she's in the same energy she's been in for a hot minute. It's just she's kind of taken it up just a bit of a notch, or maybe had a conversation with her husband to let him know that him just kind of staying status quo isn't working for her anymore, and that she's maybe created a bit of confusion for him because of all the clarity that she's received in knowing that I'm just done settling for being the toxic waste dump for everyone else to, you know, kind of just as an example, as like a mom energy. You know, the kids come home from school, they dump their clothes and their backpacks and their lunch bags on the floor, and then they go do their fun activities, and then the mom has to like go behind them and pick everything up and put it away. It's like, no, I'm not being your emotional dumping ground, your physical dumping ground, your mental dumping ground. I'm done being complained to about myself, about others, about everything. I'm taking my power back and I'm saying no. And that was very, and is very highly confusing for her husband, because it feels like she put up with it for so long that she's just like, enough's enough. Even if she's not literally down there today at the courthouse file or wherever you have to go to file for divorce, she is so there emotionally, mentally, spiritually, everything but physically. She's so there. And this guy, it's like very confusing to him. It's almost like now he's deciding, oh, I think she's really serious this time. Maybe I will bring her flowers. Maybe I will do, again, it's not about bringing the flowers. It's about the thought. It's about the generosity. It's about, uh, putting her needs somewhere on the plate, where before he just didn't care, didn't matter. And he's realizing that something's going on and she's serious. And there's some swift communication that is leading to a massive change where she's moving in a new direction. Even if this feels out of left field, out of nowhere for him, this is like, and I don't mean this in a bad way, that she's like manipulative and calculating, but it was very calculated. But this is kind of the way, like, you think of it, most breakups, not all. Like, if the woman is super hyper obsessed with the guy, most likely she won't even break up with him anyway. But like, so say in most, not all, but most situations where a woman is the one to break off the connection, she starts dotting her I's and crossing her T's months before she physically exits the relationship. But a man will usually do it with maybe within a few weeks to days to hours to minutes. Women are more, they want to make sure they've squeezed every drop of, am I sure? Especially if there's like a marital contract here. Am I sure this is the right move moving away? And in her case, she's come to that realization that, if she's staying for now, but, again, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, she's already exited. It's just she's still physically there and still having to put up a little bit for here and there with what he's got going on. But with this Five of Swords, she realizes for her to try to fight or do one more chance, give it one more go, it's just gonna result in more of the same, more of the same, more of the same, even if she's changed. But the only way that this relationship can be salvaged if they're both wanting to salvage the relationship. And he was happy with status quo because he had to put forward almost no effort really, because she's doing all the emotional labor, domestic labor, she's working outside the home, she's got things going on with, you know, her kids, this, that, and the family members, and here he just has to bring in his paycheck and, you know, worry about just a very small handful of things. Not to say he didn't have stress or responsibility, he does, but nowhere near the nth degree that poor Stacy has. And the imbalance of this has just weighed on her for so long that she's just, she's reached a confession. Ooh. This feels like a confession within herself, something that she had kind of danced around, maybe stepped on her toe on the line of, and then pulled back. Now she's stepped completely over the line. Like, no, there's no going back. Like, I can't pretend that he's this knight in shining armor, or this Prince Charming, or this whatever, because he's just not. And then what's staring at me on the back of the deck, she's been following us this whole live stream, kind of in roundabout ways, that Queen of Swords. So to wrap everything up, we're coming full circle to where we began in the reading. That Queen of Swords is saying no more. My boundaries, my rules. You invade those boundaries or rules, you're out. He's already out. But like, as far as moving forward, she's going to maybe take some, it does feel very much financial and just like kind of the burden of like, what am I going to tell everybody? Like, as far as like removing herself from the family home, or, you know, having him removed, or, you know, whatever that looks like. It's just the nuance of like, how do we, you know, divvy assets? How do I move on? How do I, not so much from the relationship itself, but like, what does my life look like now? Again, she's kind of planning or preparing for a future where she finally does say enough is enough. She's not there yet, but she will be. Because this Hierophant here, she's ready to break these contracts with that Queen of Swords, because they're not serving her. If they ever were, they're just not anymore. And a big part of her is realizing they never really did. It's just what she was expected to do, or, you know, status quo of, you know, you fall in love, you get married, you do this, you do that. And it really wasn't in her benefit from the go. But she didn't realize that until it was too late, but it's never too late. So there we go. I hope that resonated for you. I know it was very much centrally focused on her connection with her husband, but she always like wants to give you snippets of that, like for over a year now, at least. She's letting you know, this is the status of my relationship. This is the status of my relationship. So it's very important to her for some reason, for you to know what her status of her relationship is every time we tune into her energy. So there it is, Katie. I hope that resonated for you. Thanks again for your donation. And it looks like we have reached the end of the road for today's donations. So I will be back here on Halloween on Friday. Trying to think if there's anything exciting or special we're going to be doing. Let me go to my page and see. Oh, Versha is donating. So we will get into that for you right quick. But let me just see what we're going to be expecting for Halloween special. The Halloween special. Okay, we did a donation only live stream, so we don't have to worry about that this week. We did a false contracts coming to light kind of collective reading. Maybe we'll just do a collective energy reading just on kind of the energy of what's going on, especially on the day of Samhain, the veil being thin. Interestingly enough, we can get into this actually on Halloween, but you know, the whole tradition of dressing up was to scare away the elementals, like the fae and the gnomes and whatever, so that they can't like come in and cause chaos in your life. Well, all these skulls and kind of cryptic, like as I look at this bag, cryptic looking decorations that people put out actually act as an invitation or a vessel, especially when you carve a face into something, or, you know, jack-o'-lantern vibes, or you have a skeleton hanging in a tree outside as a decoration in your yard. This literally invites the demonic realm. It gives it a vessel for which to dwell until you get rid of it, you know. So usually a jack-o'-lantern lasts, I don't know, 3 weeks tops. And by the time you smash it or the deer come and eat it or whatever, the spirit will no longer embody that. So the whole full reason that we were dressing up to scare away the elementals isn't even a thing anymore. Like they've pretty much left the building as far as this realm goes. They're not really inhabiting this realm the way that the astral realm, the demonic realms are now involved. And they just love this time of year because it's a huge free for all, just a huge free for all for them. When people dress up, especially as something scary or gory or like has the resonance of death. Um, the demonic and jinn love they love that. Um, so be clear, be aware of what you're dressing up as and maybe why. And you can always put those protections, which I do anyway with my kids, if they want to do, the trick or treating thing or whatever. And interestingly enough, I don't even like the idea of trick or treating because if you think about it, it's an energy exchange. And what are you giving in exchange? Not much. They're not giving you much either. Usually a piece of candy or whatever, but if there's no equal energy exchange, it's almost like you're giving that person power over you if they wanted it. Most people are benevolent and they're not like out to get something, but some people aren't. So like do your due diligence and just protect yourself if you're going to be participating in certain traditions. And also look to the root of why do we put a Christmas tree in our house? Why do we dress up scary or put scary decorations around this time of year when the veil is thin? Why do we do that? If you get to the root of why these traditions actually started in the first place, we've gone so far off the path of what they originally designed to do that we're a lot of times we're actually creating this huge loose feed around these big holidays. Easter, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July are kind of the big five in my opinion. Am I missing any big five? Valentine's Day, there's a lot of toxic love contracts around that day. So like the big 6 holidays, if we want to include Valentine's Day. I personally don't like or care to celebrate Valentine's Day, but my husband always still like gets me something. I'm like, maybe we could do like the day before or the day after, because I don't know, just the whole thing gives me the heebie-jeebies anyway. But anyway, I digress. So we'll maybe talk more about that on Halloween. And we'll do a collective reading just with the veil being so thin. Again, it's not the veil to more the divine, it's more the veil to the lower realms that's thin at that time. The mischievous realms, we'll just put it that way. So in fact, it's not a great time to open yourself up spiritually and try to connect beyond the veil during Samhain, which is, All Hallows Eve, Samhain, Halloween. It's usually kind of that day between October 30th through about November 2nd is kind of the window through which that realm can really peer in or come in and cause some chaos. A lot of, especially during Libra season, which kicked off Vedically speaking around October 17th and it ends around November 14th. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's kind of a big time for new soul contracts or renewal of like karmic contracts in this matrix to pop off. Lots of sacrifices are made during this time of year. And it's interesting that they, you think, oh, well, Thanksgiving's after that. So, phew, no big deal. No, think about it. These turkeys are all sacrificed well before the day of Thanksgiving to prepare for the massive amounts of turkeys that need to go out. And a lot of it through like big pharma and the puppets that pull the strings are doing mass sacrifices through these animals. So this is one way, like blessing your food started out as being able to clear it from any sacrificial energy. That should be something that we all do all the time anyway, just because of how toxic and loose infestedly feeding frenzy of a matrix that we live in. It's kind of crazy if you really think about it. And we think, oh, well, I didn't kill that animal, I didn't have anything to do with the factory farming of that. Well, you're the one consuming it, which is even harder and crazier. So like once we start wrapping our mind around some of this stuff, it can get pretty like, whoa, this is scary, bro. As my kids say. All right, yes, Versha, we have your donation. So we're going to get right into that for you. Okay, so let's see. And I think we have your question in PayPal. Let me double check that it didn't cut off or anything. Oh, it looks like maybe it did cut off. So let me log into PayPal. Sometimes I can get a longer view of reading it over there. because it usually gives me like maybe 2.5 sentences before it like cuts it off in the email for who knows whatever reason. Take a quick drink of water while I log in. Oh shoot, I need to transfer my PayPal balance. It's been a couple months. Okay. So, okay. I don't know if it's gonna let me read any further. So I'm asking True Source Spark to bring in abundance and ways to earn in my life. Any guidance regarding that, please? Anything that I am asked to do or let go, and then it's ... I assume you mean let go of, or just to put you in alignment with abundance so that you can do your thing. Okay, so let's start our timer and we're gonna get right into this. Yeah, okay. So there we go. All right. So asking True Source Spark to bring in abundance and ways to earn in Versha's life. Any guidance regarding that? Anything that she's asked to do or let go of? Okay, let's go back to camera view. Anything she needs to know? Ooh, yes. Letting go of the back and forth, the fighting, the conflict. So when S comes to you looking for a fight, because that sounds like that's kind of his MO or modus operandi, MO. Because he gets we were just talking about like a loose feed, a loose harvest, energetically speaking, men, boys, anything masculine needs that feminine life force energy, even if they are far removed from anything spiritual. They still need that feminine life force to keep themselves going, to keep that motivation, to keep their strength, to keep their power, to keep their leadership. Even the pharaohs and the emperors and the kings back in the day, they would always have to have a consort or queen consort, because they knew if they were just single or whatever, and sometimes they'd have a whole harem or a whole, all these concubines, because they were siphoning all of this female feminine energy. And so when he goes to, and they don't even need to, connect to you intimately, if you know what I'm saying, to get that loose feed. They can come feed off your emotional response to what it is they're bringing to you. That's the secondary way that the masculine, specifically the toxic masculine, will feed from the feminine to get its hit so that it can continue doing what it does. It will help me in my claiming my self-worth and power back from S, as money is something he uses rampantly to control me. And that's called financial abuse. You can Google or look into financial abuse. And when that's the case, especially like in a divorce, you have like clear grounds for divorce if there's financial abuse going on. So look into that. I don't know if that falls under safe harbor laws. I have no idea. But again, I will, if you send me a text, Versha, to remind me, because my perimenopausal ADHD, Rahu on my moon brain just is not remembering things the way I should right now. And it's a whole thing. So if you can remind me, that would be great. Okay, look at that. It's about embracing the grief, the loss, the heartache. Just knowing that this is maybe not going to be the easiest thing, but in you facing this is what you're leaving behind. This is what you're going to be able to leave behind. And correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we start out at least the first portion of your other reading that you won today with this in reverse? So we're tuning into, what to let go of, the conflict, the heartbreak. It's easier said than done, though, especially when he comes to you all triggered, and then it triggers your triggers. And then before you know it, you're back and forth. Even if you're quiet about it, like your body's reacting to his emotional outburst that's then feeding off of you. Like, it is not easy to be in that energy. All these monks in these monasteries that are like super enlightened, like they could never, if they had to live in this toxicity that you live in, be so connected to their spirituality. If they had to literally live in the trenches of this craziness, they're in this just very set aside, just completely disconnected from quote unquote reality, that it's easy to connect to your spirituality when you're not thrown into the triggering toxicity of it all the time. So this is what you're going to be able to leave behind as this goes on. Let's get some words of advice, wisdom, guidance for Versha as she kind of makes these choices, takes these steps, needs the money to get out. Okay. So there's some sort of karmic cycle that you are kind of being thrown back into. Interestingly enough, if correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we get the wheel energy in your previous reading? But this is like saying there's something unfinished or something that's still owed or due to you that you need to claim or grab or create maybe potentially, but this feels like something that's already created. Let's tune more into this world in reverse energy for Versha, especially with having to do with financial abundance. Ooh, victory. And I like this. I like to see the progression from that 5 of Wands into the 6 of Wands. I love that. Financially speaking, advice, wisdom, guidance in how she can be able to start providing. Yeah, just not even engaging. Oh, how you can start providing. Now you have the Wheel of Fortune, which came out in your previous reading. So it's probably very connected to the previous reading. What came through there is going to be very relevant to you being abundant here. This really does feel like you being able to lean on or rely on talents or gifts or schooling, training that you already do have, even if it's not specifically textile or whatever, but something you already know how to do. Even if you feel like you've been out of the loop, you've been out of the game, there may be some additional training or learning that you can do to be able to get yourself kind of up to speed to be able to go into some sort of career. Ooh, 2 cards just fell into my lap. So we have they fell this way, but I picked them up in reverse. So I'm counting them as upright. The Knight of Cups and Page of Wands. So it's almost like you getting this divinely inspired idea that I don't need to, I shouldn't have to put up with this anymore. This is lighting that fire within you to desire a better life for yourself that's going to take you in a direction that feels more emotionally fulfilling. You can even ask the universe, send me work, send me a job that's in alignment with my true spirit, that can provide for me, that feels purposeful, that doesn't drain my spirit when I go to this job, that's got flexible hours. Just literally write it all out. Like, spirit, my true spirit, bring this opportunity to me that will provide for me, that will allow me to live where I want without restriction. Just literally spell it out on paper. And one of the most powerful things you can do, there's like a spell or a ritual or whatever for applying for a job, is to write out the salary that you expect, the location you want to live or work, write all of it out. And then you can take abundance herbs, which would say include, cinnamon, bay leaf is really great for abundance. Basil is good for abundance. Mint is great for abundance. I'm just like zoning out. Ginger, great for abundance. Sprinkle some ginger spice or ginger root, whatever. And you can bundle all of those spices and herbs and whatever up in your paper and then bury it. I buried it without realizing where I buried it. But if you think of Vastu Shastra, in your home, the south east corner of your home is your abundance corner. So if you can go to the southeast corner of your lot outside in your yard, if there's a flower bed already there, that's amazing, because then you're not having to disturb the lawn or whatever. But find the southeast corner of your yard and bury basically your decree to the universe that this is the salary you expect, this is the job, this is this, that, and the whatever. And bury that, because when you bury it, you are solidifying that as that divine feminine energy of death and rebirth. Already seeing the southeast corner of my backyard. You said it. Intuitively, you already know what to do, where to go, who to be, what to do. All right, this one's sticking out, so let's grab it. You already know. You already have all the tools you need. I mean, I'm really reading magician energy, especially with this infinity symbol here, but just having also that inner strength to take that leap into the next step. This is not saying you have to leave tomorrow. No, this is very much like what we were getting with Stacy with her husband in Katie's reading, about being calculated. Again, not in that manipulative way, but in the way that's covering your ass or your back to make sure you're taken care of, because you more and more and more and more than deserve to be taken care of through any kind of transition. Because you have put so much into this relationship, this family, this connection. And even if you're the one choosing to step away or break that connection, that contract, that doesn't mean you don't get anything out of it. All right, I know timer went off, but let's just closing statement. Any other words, advice, guidance, especially with abundance and bringing money in? Okay, lay your burdens down. I'm hearing lay your burdens down and you will be taken care of. And I know that sounds so woo woo. Some savior will come rescue me. No, this is you rescuing yourself or saving yourself by being able to put these burdens down, walking or stepping away from what's not serving you. That's what this card really represents. But at the same time, it's letting you know that if you have to rebuild, look at all the material you already have to rebuild your life. You already have all the cleaning skills, the cooking skills, the homemaking skills, the family raising of your daughter's skills. That's all down pat. That's all the home and lifestyle stuff. It's just the career stuff, you already pay all the bills, so you know how all that works. Like you're very much secure. It's just the actual inflow of finances because of you're the one earning them. That's the only real missing piece here for you to be able to have your own stability, security without having someone sitting there draining your life force energy um, under the guise of I'm the provider, I'm the husband. And it's like what you put out, you will get back. And you put so much out by taking care of your family, by trying to make this work. You put so much out that now it's your turn to receive. It's your turn to receive. So it's not giving you any real specific steps except maybe, writing it all out, burying it in the southeast corner of your yard. And just knowing that your spirit does have your back. And something that Ola Volny talks about a lot is these real big spiritual breakthroughs never can happen and never will happen when we have a safe place to land. Sometimes we literally have to pull the rug out, flip the script, not even know where our next meal's coming from for these huge, and we just literally have to trust. And that sounds like the scariest thing to do, is especially when you have a daughter that you also have to take into consideration. But usually true spiritual liberation and realization and all of it comes as a complete ending or death card of something major in your life that has been causing a lot of stress. And it's hard, but you have the power, you have the strength because you are the source. You are source having this human experience in the divine feminine capacity, which is actually arguably even more powerful because you can use that spiritual life force energy to really secure your bag in the financial district, which is hard for a lot of us divine feminines who are really tuned into our feminine energy, but we're giving so much of it away for free to people in our lives that maybe aren't pouring back into us, that we are the ones that are the most financially strapped of all other demographics out there. But when we can tune into and tap into our own inner divine masculine to support that beautiful divine feminine flow, that's when we really unlock it. I'm still myself trying to figure out how that all works. But luckily, I have someone in my life, my divine masculine husband, that is, it's not perfect all the time, but like he's a great stability, a great support for me, that I don't feel like I have to do it alone. And you're kind of in a reverse boat where you have that, maybe financial coming in, but it's not at your discretion, it's at his. And you don't have that emotional connection that you maybe once had, that makes things really difficult. So my heart really does go out to you. Yeah, the actual inflow of finance. Yeah, I believe it's time for karmic balance to happen. Absolutely. It's long overdue. Long overdue. Yeah, I don't have anywhere to go. I don't want to go to my cousins or father or brother. I would like to do it on my own with help from spirit. Yeah, I feel this will shift in the coming months once the transformation and level up solidifies. Absolutely. And that's the thing, especially I keep hearing safe harbor, safe harbor, safe harbor. And it feels very feminine led, feminine guided. So there's somewhere you can go that you're not having to rely on that wounded masculine in your life, or, random cousins, or, you having to feel put upon as a burden onto someone else's life just so you can feel like you did what was right for you. I see a way where you can do it. And it feels more like some sort of like nonprofit organization or something that's helping you, rather than like a friend or a family member that's taking you in and then, you trying to build yourself from there. This feels more like an organization. Is it Ollie, a spirit sister in Florida. Let's see. Interestingly enough, this feels like a group or an organization. And it's almost like Raksha Inc. Interesting. Let's see. Ollie. I don't think it's that route. But yeah, I definitely can see the creativity. She just may have a lot of difficulty in the financial aspect her own self, that she wouldn't be as great of a help to you as you would hope in that time of need. Let's see, Raksha Inc. Let's just tune into that energy if this could be a help for Versha in any way. Ooh, definitely a possibility, or there's a potential for some opportunity there. Yeah. And this may be owed wherever it is you go, this is owed to you from past life. You've accumulated the back of the deck energy. You've accumulated so much in the spiritual realm that it's almost like bottlenecked. What I'm seeing is a funnel that's just full and overflowing. And here's your cup, just completely empty, just ready and waiting for something. And the funnel is like bottlenecked, like it's all clogged up at the top. But once that clog or blockage comes out, it's all just going to funnel into you, energetically, abundantly speaking. Wow. And this may even be a big cosmic shift that's happening as like a collective shift for humanity that will free this up, because I'm seeing such a collective, I'm hearing shame spiral for the divine feminine or feminines, and just the way the women have been suppressed or having to be the property or under the decision of like the husband, the father, the brother, whoever the older elder of the family is, where that wound is closing and shifting for the collective of the feminine. I did not know that until just now. So thanks for enlightening us or allowing that energy and information to come to light. Yeah, I will connect to them for providing my services. Yeah, there you go. Slowly, I will ask them for help. Yeah. And there has to be, you can, I would even say go on Yandex, or I was used to say Google this, Google that. Go on Yandex and search your whatever keywords for your situation, on visa, married, foreign country, because there are other people, there have been other ways that someone could go through this divorce process or separation process and still be able to remain in their community. Like I see it like it's very clearly laid out that there's really no problem here. That's the thing, is this has been like the big bad wolf or the scary monster under the bed for you as well. If I divorce, I have to go back to India. And I'm hearing that's not the case at all. So there may be some loopholes, some legal thing that you can, reapply, and because you're already on US soil, that they just automatically grant that for you. There's like something maybe hidden from you right now. Again, this might be with the safe harbor things. Again, I don't know what that's all about. But there's information, and I just heard knowledge is power. Going back to that Queen of Swords, she's like on the hunt for like physical, like she's basically a lawyer if you think about it. She knows all the laws, she knows all the loopholes, she knows how to talk her way out of anything or into anything that she needs to. And it's not only for manipulation tactics, it's for the greatest good of her daughter, her family, her life, her community. So yeah, there's something here. There's just missing information that, Googling around, Yandexing around, looking around, maybe talking to some people on the phone and just getting some, a consultation or some guidance from someone who knows what's going on. That's not me, because I don't know what's going on with all this. You're going to get the information, and it's actually going to remove a huge weight off your shoulders for you to be able to do something, to move forward in ways that are going to support you physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and abundantly, financially, to be able to do what you need to do. I see it as something that it's going to be a lot easier than you've built it up to be for some reason. And to me, I'm like, no, you have every right to build this up. It seems very complicated and scary, this whole thing. Yeah, and I don't even know. Again, I will email you Jessa's contact info, or vice versa, so you guys can get in contact and she can spill the tea on all of this safe harbor stuff. Oh, they have immigration lawyers and provide asylum. There you go. That's exactly what you would need. Someone who knows the laws, knows the rules, and especially in your exact situation. Because you can't be, because I'm hearing you're not the only one that's had to do this or go through this and want to be able to stay in this country and not have to go back to, country of origin or whatever. And I hear this happens all the time. You're not just this weird anomaly that, has never happened before. No, this happens all the time. Especially if you can prove any kind of abuse, financial abuse, mental, spiritual, emotional abuse, physical abuse, whatever. Not that you have to sit here nickel and dime and drag him through the mud and take him to court. I see there being a better way or just an easier way to be able to get everything you need without having this huge conflict and chaos blow up in your face. Yeah. Yeah, I am allowing this information to flow into my energy field. I have chills as I contacted my cousin's daughter to know my rights. She is a lawyer. That's perfect. There you go. I love that. Yeah, look into the safe harbor. I will send along that contact information. Absolutely. And you guys can at least have some back and forth about what that even means. I don't know. She works in solar. So funny, solar, the sun. It's about your spirit, your power, where your power lies in this world. My son's in the 7th house, which is its debilitated position. But usually someone with like a sun in the 7th house can illuminate the masses to something that they need to know. So it's a kind of interesting position to have that. It's in Aries though, so maybe that balances it out for me. I don't know. I don't know. Because it's exalted in the sign of Aries, the sun is. Yeah, I would rather have mutual separation with asylum. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, look into that. Just Yandex around and try to find that information, make some phone calls. Yeah, you'll figure something out. You'll be able to get something rolling with that. And hey, maybe all of this school year stuff for next year and all the trouble you're having jumping through hoops with that won't even be a thing because you're moving somewhere potentially that your daughter just gets into a school that's very much more in alignment with what's going on. Something much more like that school she first moved into when you guys first moved down where you're at. That would be so ideal for her too. Yeah, it will not impact him either, as I don't want to hurt him, as Kashfi is in between and will impact her. Yeah. And maybe this is a conversation you're having with him to where, much like with Stacy's reading for, Katie's reading for Stacy was, you know, the husband just isn't getting it until she's really serious and her foot's out the door. And then something comes online for him. And, maybe he does make an arrangement because he doesn't want to lose his, daughter to have to move away. That he would, or even just having more of a roommates kind of marriage situation would be better than this constant animosity. Um, who knows? Maybe something can be worked out to where you're more kind of business partners in raising a daughter together, and then potentially going your separate ways later. I mean, there's not just one way that this has to play out. So really tune in, and I wouldn't divulge to him right this second that you're going to seek asylum and you're talking to lawyers. Like, I wouldn't even let him know that until you are already have all of your paperwork in order and are ready to go. For your own safety. I'm not seeing like physical safety, but just spiritual safety. Because his retaliation with his anger can absolutely and has and will absolutely spiritually harm you. How it has and how it does all the time, but on another level. So you want to make sure you're spiritually safe and have all of your contracts and paperwork in order before breaking any kind of news to him. Yeah, just separating yourself within the home is a good first step for you, and that does send a very clear message. It's not that you're playing games, you're just sending a very clear message because you've already communicated till you were blue in the face that, hey, this isn't okay anymore. I don't want to be treated this way. I don't want to live this way. And he's just not getting it. Over and over and over, he is not getting it. It's like you're speaking two different languages. That energy is still very prevalent. Yeah. First, I will, move all my clothes into the guest room this weekend, tell him that everything has just ended between us. And if still doesn't take responsibility, I'll move out completely. Yeah. And just letting him know that, because you've said that before, so that wouldn't be news to him. But, before you actually follow through with that, make sure you have all of your ducks in line, or ducks in a row, as they say. so that you can, not have to deal with the retaliation. You can just grab your daughter and go, or, make him go, or whatever that scenario looks like right after you do what you need to do. Yeah, a lot of my stuff is stuck in her, in, wait, did I miss something? Oh, in her home. I am asking him to get it all out of there. I am also asking my contacts to get my jewelry out of his mother's hands. There you go. Yeah, it's like, why does she have my jewelry? That's weird. Yeah. Yeah, because you deserve to have your stuff for sure. All right, you guys. Well, I'm gonna go have some lunch, get a few errands, not errands, chores. That's more the word I'm looking for. I need to fold some laundry and do some things. Um, but yeah, I will be back here on Halloween on Friday. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. In his home. Yeah. Um, no, you're okay. You're totally fine. Again, it's a me thing, not a you thing. um, yes. So we will be back here on Friday on Halloween. We're going to just do a collective energy reading, protecting ourselves from all the crazy chaos that can happen during all of that time, and just see what we need to know moving forward. So thanks again, you guys, so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Portal Tarot Live, Friday, Halloween, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. I will be here. Hope you will too. All right, you guys. See you then for a collective reading. Bye.